हमारा भी ब्रेकअप होता है हमारे को भी जॉब से निकाला जाता है, हमारे भी पेरेंट्स गुस्सा करते हैं, वी ऑल्सो गेन वेट, वी ऑल्सो गेट एक्ने, हमें भी सारे प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं जो बाकी लड़कियों को होते हैं. आई थिंक women have been subjected to so much of scrutiny in terms of beauty, how to be, how to carry herself and stuff. It's something that I haven't really even shared on my social media channel, but I have PCOS and I also have I also have diabetes. It is very difficult for me to actually maintain myself and look flawless. I am not flawless. Spending a lakh or more than that on a bag, I think it's stupid. I'm more like a love guru to a lot of my girlfriends.
Okay.
I'm also responsible for a few breakups.
Wow.
Dating is fun when you're not in it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Kofluence Unplugged. This is Safwana and today I'm back with yet another creator special episode. This time around, we are featuring one of Number Bengaluru's award-winning lifestyle influencer, Priyanka Arora. Welcome to Kofluence Unplugged, Priyanka.
Thank you so much for having me here, guys. It is a pleasure being here.
So why don't you start by introducing yourself to our audience?
Okay, so I mean, whoever is watching me, I'm first of all extremely thankful to Kofluence for having me here, such a good agency, and I feel delighted to be a part of this. I am a lifestyle, fashion, and beauty influencer. I started my career with modeling, and then it was just this excitement, happiness I got out of posting pictures, because back then it was just pictures, and I didn't even realize that I could convert this into a different profession altogether and become an influencer till COVID happened. And since we were all in lockdown and we didn't have anything to do, and I was like, okay, I speak well, and anyways I do read a lot about beauty products and stuff, so I can probably try and do this. And I just started doing it because we were all sitting at home and doing nothing, and thanks to COVID I am an influencer today.
Okay. Yeah, this is like a very common story for a lot of content creators out there, because they were locked down in their own houses.
Exactly,
and this is one outlet that they could let themselves out.
Yes.
That's true. So generally there's this conception that every social person or every influencer is supposed to be a very socially active person as well. So extroverts, I would claim them as. So are you an extrovert yourself?
I'm actually not. I'm actually the opposite of it.
Okay.
Because I have been an introvert all my life. Like, I don't ever remember having more than one friend throughout my school or college life.
Oh.
Just one friend who I would sit with, eat with, talk to, like one good friend, close friend, that's all. But other people I would actually be even scared to make conversations with. However, I would always take part in debates, drama, dancing competitions, but I was never like a very outgoing or popular person in that manner. And then I think now, from being an introvert, I have graduated to calling myself an ambivert.
Okay.
So now there are times when I just want to be left alone because of my personality, but also because my profession requires me to speak to a lot of people, meet a lot of people, and it's actually fun also to interact with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I have started sort of enjoying it, but I do that in a little bit of limit.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, so since you mentioned that you meet new people, and so it sounds very exciting. So this is something I had in my mind, that the kind of lifestyle that you show on the gram, is it the same that's behind the screen as well? Is it very happening, and is it very jolly?
See, we have to show the good stuff on Instagram. It is just because nobody wants to see the negative stuff.
That's true.
But is that the reality? Definitely not. It's just the highlight of my life that I show that, okay, these are the good things which are happening and I want to share it with my audience. But is that the only thing? Definitely not, because I'm also a very normal human, right? I also have my lows. I also, हमारा भी ब्रेकअप होता है, हमारे को भी जॉब से निकाला जाता है, हमारे भी पेरेंट्स गुस्सा करते हैं, we also gain weight, we also get acne, हमें भी सारे प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं जो बाकी लड़कियों को होते हैं यार. तो I feel मतलब we cannot show all the negative stuff. Once in a while you do, it's fine. But I personally prefer not to show it, for a simple reason that it's my individual call, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people who choose to show it, because I think for people who choose to show their vulnerabilities are very strong in a public platform. However, I personally believe in dealing with my personal things in my own space or with my own friends or something, but not letting it out on my social media and letting those 4 lakh people know that today my mom shouted at me. No, I don't want to do that. But once in a while, you do share a little bit of, and I think social media is such a beautiful platform for us to even know a person without actually even meeting them or knowing them. We form perceptions about people which could be right or wrong, but we get some data about a person, that even from the kind of posts they put up, even from the kind of stories they put up, we show a reflection of our personality, right?
Exactly.
And I think it's nice if we keep it as much positive as we can.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that positivity angle, once you take that away from it, any person on the other hand of the screen who is, going through social media as a time pass from their stressful life, if positivity is what they see on the screen, that's exactly what you should be doing. Yeah. I mean, so you do what all genres you handle? Lifestyle, beauty and fashion, is it?
Yes, as of now, beauty, fashion and lifestyle.
Yeah. And have you planned on diversifying your genres?
I have actually. It has been something that's been on my mind for a long time. I think I want to start a podcast like this. It's been on my mind. So there are some fears that I have, that I don't know if people are going to take me seriously, because they're so used to seeing my content in terms of just promoting a beauty product or fashion products. There's not much talking, and even if there is talking, it's not very intellectual or personality oriented, right? So this side of me is something that people haven't really seen until unless they meet me personally, which is just very few selective people who we interact in Bangalore, or maybe a couple of events here and there. But I find this very intriguing, and also I think Bangalore doesn't have much of content creators who are into the podcast industry yet, right? So this is something that's been on my mind, but it's not as easy as it looks. It requires a lot of homework. You have to know who you're interviewing, why you're interviewing, will your viewers watch it, and the kind of content you're going to provide. Is it actually, people are going to actually relate to it or not? Because the content has to do well. By end of the day, numbers, even if we say they don't matter, they actually matter to some extent. So it's something that's been on my mind. I have to do homework on it. Maybe God's grace, inshallah, in future.
True thing. Also, since you mentioned that, because social media is a platform for you to, it's where you take your outlet and you talk to people on your perspective, because you're also human and you're also trying to be relatable. And then even if it's lifestyle and beauty, because this is a common stereotype that lifestyle, beauty and fashion, it's all just bling, it's all just very shiny, that's that side of Instagram. And then people who have real stories, that's not what they're showing on their pages. But my perspective is different in that case. I feel like even these beauty influencers, they're not trying to promote the standard of beauty there. People have already set unrealistic standards of beauty enough for us, and then we don't want to promote that also through social media. So as an influencer, or as a content creator for that matter, who does content around beauty and fashion, what's your take on all the standards that's preset in the society?
So first of all, I think I might sound like a feminist if I say this, but I think women have been subjected to so much of scrutiny in terms of beauty, how to be, how to carry herself and stuff in general. And the beauty standards that we have set is actually very extreme. And there is just I think not even 3% of women out of the 100% who actually naturally fit into it, without doing any changes to going through plastic surgery or, any of the changes. Now, good thing now is that we are talking about body positivity, skin positivity. We are accepting and embracing that imperfections are also a way of being perfect, which is a good thing. Now, as a content creator, I have to make a balance, because as much as we like to say that we are very forward in the society and we're very accepting, the truth is that Instagram is also very dependent on the numbers, and most of the people like to have a look at a very pleasant looking person. So even when it comes to brands, it is an unspoken language where brands do not want to work a lot with people who have issues with their skin or who have a lot of weight issues. There are certain brands who love to promote plus size models, and now we see the trend changing. Earlier it used to be like a very strict thing that they would only work with certain kind of women, but now we see the trend changing, not just with the models and also with the influencers. That shows the shift in the society. I personally so it's something that I haven't really even shared on my social media channel, but I have PCOS, and I also have I also have diabetes, like a borderline diabetes. So it is very difficult for me to actually maintain myself and look flawless. I am not flawless, However, I know how to carry myself because I know the beauty products and the techniques and all of those things, and I do put in the amount of effort. So coming back to your question, I think we do see a little bit of shift, which is a very welcoming thing. It's a positive thing that we are actually embracing people with their imperfections.
True.
And I think it's high time women start just celebrating themselves for who they are.
Yeah, I mean, with brands, you cannot be selective. That's the conception that, when a brand approaches you for a certain campaign, as an influencer or as a content creator, to be relevant in this space, you have to always be accepting. But that's not the case. I mean, you can also choose what brands to work with, something that resonates with your personality.
Exactly.
So if you are someone who has to be, who wants to be vocal about any particular issue, if that's a brand that promotes it, then that's the place you should be going about.
True, very true.
So even with, like, since you mentioned that, issues like PCOS and diabetes and everything, all of these were not very spoken about.
Exactly.
It's something that people have been facing from ages.
Generations.
Yes, exactly. But then nobody spoke about it unless something like a positivity week was around the corner, or a Women's Day was celebrated. That's the only places where this was spoken about. Now, but with social media and the whole trend around talking out or speaking out, that's something that's come up now.
That's the power of social media.
Yeah, exactly. So people who think that social media is just a shiny place to for people to just show off their lifestyle, I believe that's the exact opposite. Actually,
it's very powerful. It is not just a place where you get to showcase your voice.
Sure.
It's so powerful that you can even easily call out someone for their wrongdoing. And there have been a lot of times that actions have been taken because of the power of social media. So I know there's been a lot of abuse also with this, but there has been a lot of good also. One of the good is I'm here.
And also I want to talk about the monetary angle that's attached to it as well, because now earlier days it used to be just like people are doing it out of passion and people are just enjoying it because it's a source of entertainment. But nowadays content creators, influencers, they take out their effort, their skills to actually, even if it's a 15-second reel, there's like 5 to 6 hours of effort that went behind it. So obviously it was natural to have a monetary angle to it. And now with brand ambassadors, because influencers are the faces of brands now. So I think the monetary angle to it is very relevant and important now. And like, what's your take on it?
I mean, that's what I said. Like, Instagram is extremely powerful. It has changed a lot of lives, definitely my life. There was not much monetary angle when this entire thing started, at least for me personally, but now it is my main source of income. I pay my bills through it, and I earn decently well now because of it. Also, there were a lot of perceptions in the beginning, and I mean, even now I have seen a lot of people holding perceptions about influencers that, just give them free food and they'll come and make a reel for you, or just call them or give them something on barter and they'll do it. Why do you want to spend? But it's very disrespectful, I feel personally, even as a human being, to discredit somebody's effort that goes into creating the entire content. Even if someone is doing this out of passion on their phone, to just say something like, I'll host you, why don't you come and just do this, since you're anyways a content creator. And now fortunately, with agencies like Kofluence and a lot of others, there are brands which actually come up with proper paid deals for us. And now we have, as a content creator, the opportunity and the option to say, yes, I want to work with this brand, no, I will not do this, until and unless it meets a criteria where I feel it is a win-win situation for me as well. And content creation is not easy. If someone says, you do it, your life is so cool, you just wear makeup, put up, some pictures and videos and you're able to make money. It's not that easy. A lot of effort goes into it, you know. But even when you're shooting a reel, you have to be careful about the kind of script it is, the way you're going to shoot, how you're going to shoot. There are just for an influencer, you have to, like, now when I shoot professionally, I have a team with me which shoots, right? There's a lot of effort, a lot of people are working, they put their best foot forward to get that 160 or 90-second reel. And if someone says your life is easy or content creation is easy, please come and do it. You would know, you'll get a taste of it.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, yeah. And also with the, like I said, we were talking about the perception of beauty in that case. So the kind of comments that come under influencers who have been promoting beauty products and everything, and every time there is like even a slight difference in their body or their skin, people are very observant.
Yeah.
And then they'll point out such things that in that case they're somehow the body positivity, skin positive, everything
goes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, you've started getting acne and all.
Yeah.
You're not taking care of your skin.
Drink more water.
Yeah.
It's funny because do I not know that I need to drink more water? Exactly. Do I need to not know? Like, imagine I'm talking about the best of the best skincare products. Do I not know the kind of skincare I should use?
Exactly.
And they're telling me, basic stuff, wear sunscreen and stuff like that. I'm like, yes, thank you. Because how do you go about educating someone who doesn't know?
Exactly.
So to like I as an individual now, I'm at a position where I've just made peace with things. If they write good. A lot of times I actually don't see comments. A lot of times I do. Earlier I used to actually react to all my comments. That's something I want to work on, is that actually interact with my audience, react on their comments and stuff. But there have been a couple of times where I felt like the comments were getting too nasty, and for me to even put a like was in a like or disliked or even sometimes react to it was a very I felt like I'm also stooping down to their level by reacting to it, by saying anything at all. So I sometimes just read stuff. If it's way too very upsetting, I will just delete it off and block that person without saying a word. And if I feel like, okay, maybe I can laugh at it or it's okay, then I will just ignore and forget about it. And I have seen a lot of haters turning into fans because of that, because then they'll keep hating you. I've had people who have written hate comments which is not that nasty, but still you can sense what they mean, and I've still liked the comment and left it there. Like, I haven't reacted badly. When I could have chosen to give it back to them, I chose to just not say anything at all, and I just liked their comment. And then the same people I have noticed eventually commenting something positive as well. So because also a lot of people don't have the amount, I mean, I personally feel I'm blessed. So I feel a lot of people are not that blessed, so they have a way of venting out their frustration through social media. They do not have face on social media, so they feel like they can write whatever and judge
Just
you on basis of your weight, your appearance. And I have to oblige to their opinions. I should listen to them because they are following me and they have got me. Yes, I would love to listen to you, but you also have to understand I'm an equal human being, and I make, I also gain weight, I also get acne. And yes, I do drink enough water, but I can't help it.
Exactly, that's true. And lately, like, there's another category, I would say, of lifestyle that's trending. It's the luxury lifestyle. And so have you also tried spanning your content across luxury lifestyle?
So this is something a lot of my friends have told me, Priyanka, why don't your content is very massy, why don't you become little classy, Priyanka? That's a friend of mine, So she said, because I see like someone at your level should be promoting like the luxury brands and stuff. So I have two things for that. One is how many luxury brands do we have? If we talk about from business point of view, there are very few, right?
True.
And how many paid brand deals as an influencer I could get through those luxury brands in case I get into that niche? Very few. How many premium brands that I have, which is the so-called massy brands? There are a lot of them, right? And there's a very big possibility that a lot of massy brands might be even paying me a lot better than, these so-called classy and luxury brands, right? I, as an influencer, I attend a lot of events. I go to a lot of events. I personally very strongly forget being an influencer as a girl or as a consumer. I feel for anyone coming from a middle class family, because most of us do, 80 to 90% of us come from middle class families, spending a lakh or more than that on a bag, I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's just a bag by end of the day, and you spend that same 1 lakh to uplift your self-esteem. Maybe go learn something. You spend that even on a gym trainer and your diet and something. In 3-6 months of time, you would be a different individual. The bag will wear out, but your body won't wear out. You know, so if you lack self-esteem, don't find it in those labels and make somebody else richer.
Sure.
Rather spend it on yourself.
Exactly.
Maybe, you know, work on your vocabulary or even take a trip. Even that experience is more enriching than just spending on a label to carry. So for me to get into that niche, a lot of my friends say, why, what's a big deal? You know, you can look all classy and happy. And I'm like, I don't want to look classy and happy. I'm a very normal middle class girl. I earn enough. I can afford it. But I find it stupid to, you know, promote this to my audience and say, this is fashion. This is not fashion.
Exactly.
Fashion is something that you relate to, that showcases your personality. And it does not have to be a very big brand. It has to be good quality, because it's a reflection of you. But I cannot judge your quality by the
True.
price tag that you've paid. So the so-called luxury is not something that I'm ever planning to get into. I might promote it, I might not promote it. It's a very subjective thing in future whether I do or I don't. But I will never ever say that you are not fashionable because you're not carrying a brand which is more than so and so amount. You can be very fashionable by wearing a very normal brand, and it's about your confidence, it's about your personality. And forget even the brands and forget even your personality. I think be a nice human is very important.
That's true.
Treat people respectfully, talk to them nicely. I think that is that'll make you a bigger and better brand compared to the fashion or style statement you're trying to make.
Exactly. I mean, just for the brand value, that when they add so much amount of money to a regular product, a very regular casual product, a daily use product, when they add so much brand value to it and then increase the price so much, that's not the audience that you're catering to. You're catering to an audience who would like to get stuff for as cheap as they can, but without compromising on quality. So when you promote a product that is, you know, catering to the middle class audience, that is where your niche is. When you take your niche out of it and when you only focus on luxury, then that is the audience you will have to, you know,
and that's a very limited audience.
Exactly.
And I have nothing against them. Like, if you can afford it, lovely. You were born with it, you know. There are a lot of people who are born with old money, and for them it's nothing, so it's fine. But for me as an influencer, I feel I do have this responsibility to not let some 16-year-old girl think that if she cannot afford a lakh above bag, she is not stylish, or she will not be taken, you know, in a fashionable way seriously by her friends and peers, and she has to somehow get it. I am never ever going to say this is the right way.
That's true. That's true. And speaking about our audience as well, like, what's your mechanism to get their feedback? Like, do you only take the feedback that they give on your comment section and everything, or do you usually have like a chat with them over a live session or anything?
I actually don't do much of lives. I think it's something that I need to work on. I will take that feedback. I do listen to a lot of their feedbacks on the comments. I do read them. Sometimes I don't, but most of the times I do. I do get some DMs also, but you know, being a girl, most of my DMs are not worth reading, so I don't even take that seriously.
I mean, at the end of the day, what they are commenting on would probably be not relevant to anything that you're promoting or anything that you want to put out there.
I don't think most of my audience actually even understands that in that particular manner. Like, you know, they might be just looking at it maybe because it's a nice picture. So I'm like, okay, thanks. Till the time you're happy, I'm happy. It's okay.
And especially with like brand campaigns, you've started doing brand deals since...
I think been almost... 2 years, but I think last 1 year I have been very much into it.
Into brand campaigns and everything. And have your audience been differently reacting to that than your personal content?
I have seen that the quality of content matters a lot. Yes, the brand deals, the audience gets a little bored after a while because you're only selling most of the times. And I think as a content creator, you have to learn to make a balance between the
Between your
brand
personal.
deals and your personal content,
Sure.
which people like and you know that your audience likes and relates to. You have to keep putting in both,
Yeah.
you know. And I think eventually by end of the day, I as we don't know what is Insta's algorithm.
That's
I am not even trying to
Yeah.
crack that, but I think there is one rule of consistency that works everywhere, in
Yeah.
life. So I just try to be consistent, be it the brand deals or non-brand deals. I try to post once in every 2, or if not 2, definitely once in 3 days. Definitely one post will go. If a brand deal post is there, yes. If there's no brand deal post also, I will have some content with me which I will definitely put up, and I try to just stay active so that people know that I'm there, I'm doing something. And yeah, and I think the more you're active, the more people see you, the more they'll relate with you
That's
and
true.
understand stuff.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah. And over the years also, like since you started as a creator and now you have reached a position where you are doing brand campaigns through platforms and direct approaches as well. So how do you feel the influencer industry has gained that professionalism in its own?
Thanks to people like you, because I think this was even Kofluence, I guess, started after COVID only, right?
Yeah, we started around the
Yes.
time of
So a lot of agencies came after COVID because they realized there was a bridge, there was a shift. The brands used to pay actors huge amount of money earlier to promote, and then the shift happened to the social media where they started putting in money to influencers, and there was budget for influencers to put up a reel or a post and stuff. And now I think the industry is becoming extremely professional thanks to agencies like yours, that we have a very straightforward structure. This is the deliverable. You do this in these many days, and your payment will be cleared in these many days. These are the guidelines. This is the brand's ideology, and everything happens very professionally. And it's a very beautiful thing because think of so many women. Like forget me. Think of so many women who were married. They were sitting at home and they were just making content because they liked it, cooking content or something, And now for them, this has given them a actual job, which is professionally, they don't even have to like really go for a 9 to 5. They're sitting at from
Home
the
and
comfort
doing
of home. They're interacting with people and reaching out to their audience. And then there are agencies like yours which reach out, and everything happens so smoothly, like especially I think because of the agencies, it has become like a very professional atmosphere. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to be. So it's a nice thing, and I really feel that agencies have made this shift.
Yes, yeah. I mean, especially with like you mentioned, where the respect factor.
Exactly.
Yeah, the respect factor, and then what you expect out of a deliverable that you expect out of an influencer is charged. So
Exactly.
you respect them for that,
Their time,
that
their
content.
effort.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that shift had to happen.
Yes.
So I am also glad that has happened, and now it's not just actors and television stars that are
Exactly.
recognized for
Yeah.
it. It's influencers and their
Now we
effort.
see influencers walking as showstoppers in biggest of the biggest fashion
True,
weeks.
true.
And there's a reason why it is, because we are more relatable probably to our audience. We are talking and interacting with them even through social media a lot more than a lot of times in comparison to even actors,
Yeah,
because we are
true.
more accessible, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a wonderful shift, and
Exactly.
it has given work to people like me and you, brought us here, brought all of us here.
True thing, true thing. Yeah. Also, Priyanka, apart from your professional life as a content creator, in your personal life, what kind of a person are you with your friends and family?
With my family, now I've become like a very responsible person. I've just moved out of my family. It's been almost a year. I've become very responsible. I don't fight over small things now. I used to fight a lot earlier on like petty stuff with my brother and mom. But now I'm like very calm and mature. I'm like, okay, you do what you want to do. If you want me to do something nice for you, I do it. Because I think distance creates a lot of sweetness in relationships. So it's always nice to have distance. With my friends, I'm more like a love guru to a lot of my girlfriends.
Okay.
I'm also responsible for a few breakups.
Wow.
Indirectly, or sometimes I get blamed for a few breakups which I am not responsible for also. But yeah, I mean, it's okay.
You're that best friend that everyone every boyfriend is afraid.
A lot of my friends, they come up to me like, okay, you know, Priyanka, I'm considering to date this guy, but he's like this. And I'm like, wait, let me tell you. And you correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't met the person. I will just go through the like, okay, see his Instagram. And I'm like, this one looks like this. And like, how do you know all of this? I'm like,
I just know.
and it's like, are you sure this one's going to turn out like a playboy? I'm like, you can take your chances, but you know, it's going to be like that.
Wow.
And since you're my friend, I have to tell you. And then most of the times, actually, people like men, they turn out to be like that.
Yeah.
So then they'll be like, you were right. And then a lot of times, you know, so I think dating is fun when you're not in it. You know?
It's nice to watch it from a distance.
Yes.
Like.
So if like there's a fight between a girlfriend of mine and her boyfriend, she'll come up and tell me, okay, you know, he said this to me. And it's like, okay, so he's playing this power game with you. Next time onwards, you do this and see how he reacts. And then she comes back to me, she's like, you know what, this is what I did. And it's actually working now. He constantly keeps calling me. Earlier, he used to ignore me. I'm like, yes, that's what you do.
Oh, I think that this is another path that you can take.
Yeah, so that's like the fun stuff that happens in my life now. You know, because I'm not. It's like how they say it. No, coaches don't play.
I
So
was
that's
just
what
gonna mention
that's the level I'm at right now.
Yeah, and to just wrap up our discussion, I wanted to know, like, what's your advice to all the aspiring content creators and lifestyle, you know, influencers out there who are just making the mark in this industry?
I would say that don't get bogged down by the pressure that you see the veterans having in terms of standards in the content that they are delivering. Start small, start where you have whatever little resources you have, make the most of what you have and start somewhere instead of thinking that, oh, you know what, when I get a perfect DSLR and I learn how to operate it and do perfect editing, only then I will start my channel, and only when it looks perfect I'm going to do it. I have been thinking of doing that for my YouTube. It hasn't happened. God's grace, Instagram happened and I'm here. So if you're waiting for perfection, that's not going to happen. Start with whatever you have and just keep doing stuff. And also don't like, now we all know the kind of money influencers are actually making, but you also have to be genuinely passionate about what you're doing. So if you relate more to gardening, just do that. Don't get into beauty, because that is going to pay you better and get you more deals. Because if that is not your, you know, your niche, and you're just trying to copy, somewhere down the line people will catch it someday or the other. You're obviously open to experiment, but if that's not your personality, leave it. I personally would suggest. But obviously, as human beings, we're all open to learning. If you feel, no, I can learn and then do it, like anyone who's genuinely passionate, go ahead and do it. It's an individual's call, but do it. If you want to become a content creator, do it. Power of consistency.
Exactly. All the very best, Priyanka. This has been wonderful. I've loved talking to you.
Same here.
I hope I made you comfortable too.
Very, very, very. You kept getting me water.
Thank you so much for coming down to Kofluence Unplugged studio and having a great time with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the whole team wishes you all the very best for your future endeavors as
Thank you. I wish you guys all the best. Let's work together.
Of course. And that's a wrap. We have had Priyanka in the house, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more such creator episodes, stay tuned. Until next time, stay happy, stay kind, and keep Kofluencing.